Okay. Today on the study, developing advocates for the supplier diversity program. Develop cross-functional internal advocates and alliances pertaining to the supplier diversity program. Internal stakeholder support. Some of the ways the supplier diversity program can provide opportunities for other employees to participate are to create policy letter that specifies goals and challenges the organization to meet them, leverage existing communication vehicles such as newsletters, establish new vehicles such as diverse learning center, utilizing books, videos, and other materials, publicize the program's impact upon the organization and the community, and devising a program dedicated website. Forming a steering committee to champion the organization's diverse supplier initiatives. Recruitment skills. Organizations are increasingly using intranets to share results and information on supplier diversity program strategies. Scorecard may also be shared on the internet to provide a high-level view of performance metrics. And the difference between a dashboard and a scorecard. What's a diversity scorecard and what's a diversity dashboard? Although many companies use the two terms interchangeably, there really is a difference. So a scorecard is a report that displays key performance indicators with performance targets. A dashboard shows scorecard information with other related items such as reports, charts, grids, etc. Another way to look at it is that a scorecard shows progress over time, while a dashboard is a comprehensive snapshot of the moment. Comprehensive is a crucial word here, as dashboards are more often more detailed and have more support information. So here's an example of a supplier diversity scorecard. It's small business and diversity spend and diversity number of suppliers. And here's a dashboard. Awards. Many studies in the workplace have shown that being recognized for achievement and knowing that one's contributions matter to the organization have considerable impact on employee satisfaction and commitment. So benefits of award recognition programs. Employer recognition can be given in many ways. Some methods include things like saying thank you, giving praise, providing opportunity, and showing respect. Awards personalize an organization by recognizing that everyone can make a difference and be viewed as a model by others. And awards allow management to reinforce behaviors that benefit the organization. Incentive programs as a form of award whose aim is to share the benefits of a cost reduction and other financial improvement with those help bringing them about. So ideas for budget-conscious employee incentives. Not all firms can afford expensive incentive cash programs. Some alternatives, which could boost morale, are things like giving plaques, asking someone to lunch, small gifts with thank you notes, post supplier letters of praise on a bulletin board, or nowadays some kind of internal electronic SharePoint. Hold periodic meetings to tell employees they are doing a good job, take employees on an outing, movies, bowling, something like that, and run articles about employees in organizational newsletters. Keep the prestige high, which help keep the program successful. Methods to accomplish include things like conferring only a few awards at a time, award only high-performing suppliers, and present the awards in a highly visible setting, and hold award evaluations in a timely manner. Shared goals, so goal setting, most vital part of the business planning process. So goals and objectives provide the organization with fundamental direction. Of course, they've got to be SMART goals. Common definitions are things like general statements of anticipated outcomes, specific objectives that relate to specific time periods, and objectives made specific in terms of time and degree. The general characteristics of a goal. Several common themes emerge from the definition of goal above. Goals are about the future. It's a desired outcome. And there's a tie between goals and plans. Of course, they got to be smart, specific, measurable, attainable, results oriented or relevant, and time bound. Goal conflict may occur in organizations due to complexity of the goal setting process and the need to establish goals in all functions. Be aware of conflicting goal alignment and develop processes that will help determine what is best for the entire organization. And alignment should be attained between the organization, internal and external goals. So the classic goal conflict happens when you have a logistics group who's responsible for delivering parts, and you have a materials group who's responsible for inventory measurements. So the inventory guys, the materials guys, always want to wait until the day before they need the part to have it delivered. But the logistics guys always want to fill up the truck, so they're always pulling parts from orders in the future to fill the truck, which slows down the inventory turns. So alignment with internal customers, strategic and operational goals. So strategic goals are less specific and have a longer time frame, usually over 5 years or more. They tend to be associated with corporate level goals, top level goals. Operational goals are a set at lower levels in the organization, have shorter time frame, and are more specific. So operational goals are usually set like the director level, and they're usually for 1 to 5 years. Goal setting and employee involvement. Research has shown that when employees are involved in setting their goals, they're more likely to be committed to attaining them. And then there's qualitative and quantitative goals. So obviously the quantitative ones you can measure in dollars or some other discrete measurement. Qualitative goal performance is more opinion-based. So strategic plans 5 to 10 years, operational plans 1 to 5 years, and then tactics below 1 year. Organizational policies. Policy is a guide for decision making. Policies are dynamic. They need to be periodically reviewed and updated. And organizational policies are established to guide behavior in the organization. This is why we have policies. Regulatory policies or mandates limit the discretion of individuals. Those usually come from the government. And many organizations establish policies about purchasing from a diverse supply base. A diverse supplier may include certified minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, GBLT businesses, business owned by people with disabilities, veteran-owned. It just depends on how your organization defines a diverse supplier. Compliance metrics specific to supplier diversity programs should be developed. Typically, metrics include a supplier diversity program include things like percentage increase in total spend with diverse suppliers, an increase in spend by category with diverse suppliers, total number of diverse suppliers, number of diverse suppliers by industry, increase in number of key diverse suppliers, however you define key, and tier 2 supplier program percentage or raw numbers. How are you doing at the tier 2 level? Are you requiring your tier 1 suppliers to have supplier diversity programs? Current thinking from management consultant takes the metrics a step further. Percentage of ownership by an approved disadvantaged class. Percentage of board membership that is an approved disadvantaged class. Percentage of management employees that are approved. Percentage of all employees that are approved, disadvantaged class, the number of participants in a non-effects event, and the number should align with the number of diverse-owned businesses in the category. And after collecting the data, the results should be compared to goals and objectives of the program to see if the trending is on target. So you don't have to use these metrics, but here are some that you can look through. Business acumen. Show senior management how supply actions support corporate goals. That's what they want to know. Communicating supplier diversity program initiatives clearly and convincingly show to senior management and internal customers the value proposition and business case for using diverse suppliers and having the program at all. Targeting communication, understand how to target communication. So target or tailor communication to the right group to communicate with and tailor the communication to that group. So target the group and then tailor the communication. Communication approaches for senior management are different from those from internal customers. And senior management is going to be concerned about overall corporate goals and may not think of strategies in terms of sourcing or supply management. And internal customers will be concerned about their own functional goals, less strategic and more tactical. So know who your audience is. Plan communication, work to have a regular briefings to senior management on the value and status of strategic sourcing initiatives. Invite executives to annual and quarterly business reviews. I would say annual, with diverse suppliers, and brief senior management on developing integrating strategies into business practices for diverse suppliers. Provide feedback to senior management on the results of past activities, what was expected to be achieved and why actual results were more or less than expected. And guideline for communication with senior management. Be thorough. Do not assume that the executive is completely familiar with the contextual details. Synchronize the team effort prior to the presentation if you're going to do a team presentation. Focus on salient points. Use graphs and charts and exercise good form. Be concise and coherent as possible. Then we've got the strategic supply plan. This is the sections of a strategic supply plan. As part of strategic planning, establishes a supply architecture for an organization. The strategic supply plan ensures that supply-based strategic planning components and resources required are all aligned within the organization's supply strategy. And the plan has to support the corporate plan or the organizational plan. The elements of a strategic supply plan include things like annual review. Yeah, it's just these same books we just covered here. Annual review of supplier strategies, prioritization of resources, and a supply improvement plan, project management methodologies, cross-functional team improvement initiatives, supply strategies, forecast-based budgeting, supply performance benchmarked against the market, and advanced acquisition planning. Affinity groups are groups of people that share some aspect of their identity. So affinity groups provide opportunities for individuals to connect with others who share aspects of their identity, especially in situations in which aspects of their identity are in a minority or are marginalized. Several companies have such employee affinity groups, and partnership with them will enhance awareness of supplier, customer, employee needs. Society for Women Engineers, Women in Trucking, cultural clubs, etc. One of the best program structures to ensure enthusiasm and innovation is to reward those employees who meet their diversity program goals in some way. What is the most common way to accomplish this? Regular paid vacation for employees? No, that's expensive. Awards and recognition programs? Yes. Supplier diversity innovation fairs? No. Motivational speaker presentations? No, it's got to be B. And B it is. The goal of the strategic planning process is to achieve the organization's mission. This involves both short and long-term planning timeframes. What category would best suit or fit a long-range strategic plan? Well, for years. It's not days, not quarters. We're talking long-term strategic plan years. So this is the longest. It'd have to be C. C it is. All right. Let's go finish up with summary. A clear and consistent message to all employees is vital to the success of a supplier diversity program. A scorecard may be shared internally on an intranet to provide a high-level view of performance metrics. And supplier diversity goals need to be assigned to all stakeholders in the company to include clients and business unit leaders. Supply management and supplier diversity need to monitor how many diverse companies are participating in RFX events, how many diverse companies make it to the short list for the RFX, and how many diverse companies get awarded contracts. These are all recommended KPIs. Understanding how supplier diversity impacts corporate strategic goals such as revenue and profit will demonstrate business acumen. And affinity groups such as Women in Engineering provide opportunities for individuals to connect with others who share their identity. All right, we've got some questions to go over. We are on D4. Well, we only got 8 questions, so get started on them. We'll go over the answers shortly. All right. Number 1 is Delta. 2 is Charlie. Number 3 is also Charlie. Number 4 is Alpha. Number 5 is also Alpha. Number 6 is Charlie. 7 is Bravo. And 8 is Charlie. And then tomorrow we'll pick up with, what do they call it? 1E1. There's only 1E. Determine diverse supplier certification requirement.